Welcome back to the Green Room. I'm Chris, your host, and if this is your first time tuning in to this podcast, just know this podcast is all about exploring the complexities of modern life and sharing insights and fostering understanding in a world that often feels overwhelming. But today, we're diving into something that's affecting all of us, and that would be the current political climate. Let's face it, tensions are high, the rhetoric is heated, and navigating it all can just feel very overwhelming and like you're walking on a tightrope. But here is the thing: the green room, we're all about finding the space to breathe, reflect, glow, even in challenging times. So grab your cup of coffee, grab your cup of tea, or whatever keeps you grounded. Let's just unpack this together. So, our first statement, we're going to understand what the climate is. And first, let's take a step back. Let's try to understand why things feel so tense right now and in this political world, and why politics is so polarized. But political polarization isn't new, but it's become more visible and personal. I mean, with the rise of social media, like here where we are, there's 24/7 news cycles, and there's such a global reach just from the internet. Think about it. We're exposed to a constant stream of opinions, debates, and let's just be honest with it, just arguments. It's easy to feel like we're drowning in negative feelings and just all the negativity, or that we just might just have to pick a side just to survive. But here's the thing: while it's important to stay informed, it's very equally as important to recognize how the climate impacts your mental health, how it affects your relationships with others, and your decision making. We have the people of this country defending political pundits when they are not even defending themselves. This phenomenon often reflects a kind of tribal loyalty where people feel compelled to protect or justify the actions of their preferred political candidate, even when they're even wrong. And even when those specific candidates haven't even taken the time to defend themselves. But there are reasons why, and it's driven by cognitive dissonance, where supporters just may experience discomfort when a political action conflicts with their values or their expectations. But justifying the behavior typically helps them reconcile with that tension that they're feeling. Another reason could be partisan loyalty. People may just feel like they're obligated to defend their side. And I say their side because they're fearing that admitting fault could give them an advantage to the opponent. Another reason could be just projection of beliefs. Sometimes supporters attribute their reasoning to the political side, and assuming their political shares, or will endorse the same justification just because of their beliefs. Or there's just a preemptive defense. People may assume that criticism of a politician is part of a broader attack on their ideology or group, so they counter it without even waiting for the politician's own response. There's also a lack of information. In some cases, supporters may not even realize that the politician that they're supporting hasn't defended the action or stance, leading them to fill in these gaps themselves, which is very dangerous. But I feel understanding the roots of this tension is the first step in navigating it. So let's move on to see what we can do about this. But, so, we're going to move into the second segment, and we're going to call this segment Practical Tips for Navigating This Tension, to help you, help me, help us feel better after, or in it. But here's what we what we get. Here's where we get practical. This is how we do lives and in our lives without being confused or being consumed by the chaos that's around us. I got a few tips that I hope that will help you as they have helped me. 1. Choose your information wisely. Not every headline or viral post deserves your attention. Be intentional about where you get your news from. Follow sources that prioritize accuracy over sensationalism and balance over bias. 2. Set boundaries. It's okay to step away from social media or mute a conversation that drains you. Boundaries aren't about ignorance, they're about self-preservation. 3. Practice empathy. And this one is so tough, but it is so important. Because behind every opinion is a person with a story. Listen. Listening doesn't mean you have to agree, but it can open doors to understanding. 4. Engage locally. Sometimes the national or global stage just can be overwhelming and frankly just too much to even look into because you don't understand it all. Look for ways for you to make a difference in your local community. Grassroots efforts often lead to tangible change. Last, I would say, take care of yourself. Don't underestimate the power of rest, exercise, and meaningful connections with a church, old classmates, whatever it may be. A strong foundation helps you weather any storms. Now that I give you my tips, comment below and tell me what tips you found or strategies that work for you in these high pressure times. I really would love to hear them. Hear your thoughts. Please feel free to share them and share any experience you have that while you're going through this high tension time. You can follow my social media or you can email me, follow the links, comment on those on the YouTube page, whatever it may be. But now let's move to segment 3, how we're looking ahead. But as we wrap up, let's take a moment to realize where we're going to. Yes, the political climate can feel overwhelming, but it also offers the opportunity for growth. We're being challenged to think critically. We're being challenged to communicate effectively and advocate passionately. All skills that help us build a better world. Remember, change does not happen overnight, and it doesn't happen alone. All of us have a role to play in shaping the future. So let's focus on what we can control. Take small but meaningful steps and support each other along the way. Like I said here at the Green Room, we're all in this together. We're all here to learn. But that's it for today's episode on the Green Room. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found today's discussion helpful, please share it with anyone that you think that needs to hear this. Sometimes a little encouragement makes it move so much better. But also don't forget to subscribe. Please leave a review. Help me out here. Follow me on the social medias that I'm gonna put in the description. But until next time, take care of yourself and everyone that's around you. This is your host Chris, signing off from the Green Room. Peace.